Madueke. That's why I was a little bit. This is where Lee lost me because I've heard a lot of people talk about Madueke's performances for England this week, and it's a bit of an extension to my point on the last pod about his performance and the praise he got in the Liverpool game. And I just don't understand when people like Lee used the word sensational and absolutely amazing, just to quote Lee, right? And maybe I'm being the word police here. Maybe I'm just kind of being a bit too pedantic. But I'm sorry, sensational. He wasn't sensational, Lee. He wasn't amazing. And if he was, I need people to tell me what he did that was sensational or amazing. The goal he scored was a very good goal. It's composed. It's a good finish. It's direct. It's everything I want from my winger. It was a really good goal. That aside, I need some help in understanding what constitutes amazing or sensational. I'm prepared to be convinced here, but
Listen, maybe I'm over the top of it because what I see of it, every time he got the ball, he took on the fullback. Every time he got the ball, he went past the fullback.
we didn't know.
Well, listen,
Did he go past the fullback every time?
we
He
got
got
into
on the
we
ball
got into
lots.
the box. I thought we attacked the fullback really well. And listen, at the end of the day, you're not going to you're playing international football. You're not going to beat an international footballer all the time. But I thought we
I
ran him
agree.
ragged. And the movement for the goal, I don't think it's not just his finishing that for the goal for me. He was the one that started it. He's the one that picks the ball up, drops it off, and I don't know who it was to, and then it was flicked on by Rodgers, who, by the way, was brilliant as well on the day. And I just thought that what I see of him was something that I've not expected or seen any other. If I was sort of not watching it football and all that, I thought, whoa, wow, where's this player come from? I thought he was really, really good.
I guess
As a wide player, you're never ever going to beat your man every single
no,
time.
of
But
course.
what I liked about it was his positivity,
I agree with that.
confidence. That's another thing when you play for England. You know what I mean? People don't do what they normally do and go into their shell a little bit. Every time he got the ball, there was what I liked about his performance was he wasn't scared to lose the ball. If it didn't happen,
Yeah.
right? Here he was again doing exactly the same thing 2 minutes later or 10 minutes later when he got the ball. Also, when he was always, which I think is something that can be like every time he got the ball, straight out to the wide area, giving an option, making sure that the team was stretched and all that. Not trudging back to get into a right back position or anything like that. It was all positive. This is away to Serbia. I know it's a different thing, but this is a team that we spoke. But this was a team that set up defensively as well, Jordan. That's another thing I want to put out there.
Yeah.
That put out a block of a lot of midfield players in there, and what he'd done and the way that he'd done it, he stretched and stretched and stretched. And I do think that because of that, not just him, by the way, I think like Anthony Gordon done it as well, but not as well as Madueke, in my opinion. Still stretched and all that. But what he done was he kept going relentlessly down that side. And in the end, they couldn't handle that, And I don't think it's just about the way you play. It's the way that he played as well. And
The intent was there. The
yeah,
intent
yeah. There was a lot more attempt. And it was there was I think it might have been in the second half. There was a long ball. It might have been Declan Rice. I'm not saying it is. Made a 50, 60-yard pass, comes down onto his left foot, touch it, and he's going straight at the player and all that. So I just think that it was a very, very good performance from him. One that I didn't. Maybe I'm going a little bit overboard because it's one that I never expected. From him.
And I think that's my point, Lee. My fear is the bar is being lowered.
Oh, yeah,
I agree that his performance was positive. I agree that the intent to try and get at his fullback was definitely there, and that bodes well for Arsenal. And I'm not killing the guy because whilst I don't think he's a brilliant, amazing winger, I think he can be effective, and I think he can do a job for us and help us this year. So I'm backing the guy, and I'm giving him a chance. I'm not killing him.
I think
I'm just trying to have a little bit of caution. Even in the pre-match chat on ITV, Madueke was brilliant in the game against Andorra. And I'm like, these words for me are just making me think that people were judging wing play differently, clearly. Wing play for me, can you beat your man? Or how many times do you beat your man? Can you get some shots off on target? And can you get some crosses in? Over the course of the game, I think he got maybe 2 crosses in. I think he beat his fullback once, maybe twice, and what was it? Crosses, shots on target, and beating his fullback once. That for me is not a brilliant performance. I don't think over the course of 80 minutes, let's say he plays for 75, 80 minutes before being subbed in an average game. I don't think it's unreasonable to expect him to beat his fullback 2 or 3 times minimum. Can you get 2 or 3 shots off? Can you get 2 or 3 crosses in? That for me is acceptable a day's work. He didn't reach those metrics, in my opinion. So whilst the intent was there, the confidence was definitely there. I think the analysis of how he performed is massively overinflated. And look, the benefits we might see on Saturday. Saturday, he might play, rip it up, and it might be because of the 2 games for England. So I'm not killing the guy. I'm just saying, when I hear people talk about Madueke's performance, similar against Liverpool, he ripped Kirkes. No, he didn't. He beat him a couple of times, but he got done a couple of times. He didn't rip Kirkes. I thought that was a fair battle, that he had his part of it. We just got to be careful, I think, as Arsenal fans. We don't overinflate these performances. And let me tell you why. Because I heard this for 2.5 years against the other winger we've got on the left. He had a really good game. And I'm thinking, he got on the ball lots, but what was his output? What was his output? Let's drill down what his output was. His output wasn't very, very good. I can get on the ball lots. I can take on my man lots, but taking on your guy doesn't mean anything if you're not crossing the ball or getting a shot off. Do you know what I mean? Or beating your man. Don't take on your man, beat your man. And you won't always beat your fullback. I get that. But over the course of the England game I watched this week, I think he beat his fullback, I think twice. And definitely once, maybe twice. That's not great.
A lot of it comes down to the situation at play with us. And to be honest with you, I mean, England and Arsenal have one thing in common, especially recently, our performances are quite dull. So when you get little moments in a game that might not get you out your seat like a moment used to get you out your seat maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago in football, because I think the bar was a bit higher for attackers, especially in terms of what you expect over the 90 minutes. But because of systems and just general dull play from England and Arsenal, and wingers in particular, outside of Saka for both England and Arsenal, when you see moments, when you see a drop of the shoulder, beating, they are magnified more than they used to be, for sure. Because I definitely saw moments from him, but it's definitely not one where I look at and it's giving me more confidence, because the goal he scored, Arteta needs to change up how we play for him to be able to get those opportunities. And I think that's his strengths. His strengths is running in off the last man rather than facing up. Even facing up, I think he's got the ability to beat his fullback, which is refreshing for us, because Martinelli on the other side hasn't had that over the years. I also think it's magnified, because I do think he had his moments, you know, in terms of positive moments in the game. You look around the England team and, you know, there isn't much excitement anyway. So any little moment you look at, you think, oh, that was nice. And you remember it more. Whereas I think football 20 years ago, wingers were always on the ball. Wingers were, as soon as a winger got the ball, they're attacking every single time. So you can judge a winger by, he took on his man probably 10, 15 times. And nowadays it's like 3, 4, 5 times at most.
And just lastly from me, because I had this chat with some Arsenal fans in a group I'm in this week, people saying, oh, but because teams play a low block, it's harder to beat your guy one-on-one and get past him. True, fine. Then get shots off. If beating your man isn't your thing, cool, because they're defending deep, get shots off. Do you know what I mean? Wingers can do more than one thing. Like, all right, I didn't beat my man in this game, but I got 4 or 5. I tested the keeper 4 or 5 times. Cool. All right, I couldn't get 4 or 5 shots off, but I put in 4 or 5 really good crosses. If the guy scores it or misses it, that's not on you. But I at least put those crosses in. I need to see a bit more. And I'm being a bit hard on him because that's the standard I expect from Saka, from Martinelli, from Trossard, all our wingers. They can all get it. There's no preference here. I don't have favorites. The standard is high. And when I hear our fan base talking about he ripped this and he had a great game at Anfield, I'm like, great game.